Tommy's new oil company isn't just a plot twist to close out season 2 of Landman. It's a structural reset that changes what the show is actually about. Up until now, Landman has largely been a story of survival inside a broken system. Tommy spent 2 seasons reacting to messes created by MTechs, cleaning up disasters without ever truly owning the rules of the game. Season 3 flips that dynamic completely. With Tommy building something of his own, the series finally shifts from endurance to authorship, and that change has massive implications for the tone, themes, and long-term direction of the show. The most immediate difference is agency. For the first time, Tommy isn't answering to a board, a president who doesn't trust him, or a corporate structure that limits his options. That doesn't mean things get easier. If anything, they get more dangerous. When you're in charge, every win and every failure belongs to you. Season 3 will likely lean hard into that reality. Tommy can no longer hide behind company decisions or inherited dysfunction. His new oil company makes him fully accountable, and that raises the emotional and moral stakes of every choice he makes. This shift also reframes Tommy as a true power player rather than a fixer. In seasons 1 and 2, he was valuable because he could stabilize chaos. In season 3 and beyond, he becomes someone who creates the chaos others have to respond to. That's a fundamental transformation. It positions Tommy not just as the protagonist, but as a force within the oil world, someone competitors watch closely and possibly fear. The show gains narrative clarity by making that change. Instead of constantly asking whether Tommy can survive MTechs, the story now asks what kind of empire he's willing to build. Tommy's new company also allows Landman to expand its scope. MTechs was a closed environment, full of internal politics and long-standing resentments. A fresh company opens the door to new rivalries, new territories, and new players who don't share the same history. Season 3 can explore competition on a broader scale, hostile takeovers, aggressive expansion, sabotage, and uneasy alliances. This is where Landman can fully lean into its neo-Western identity, treating oil like modern frontier land and business decisions like acts of conquest. Importantly, the show isn't presenting Tommy's company as a clean slate. The lessons of MTechs still loom large. Tommy knows how corruption creeps in, how trust erodes, and how small compromises become structural failures. Season 3 will likely test whether that knowledge makes him wiser or simply more ruthless. There's a real question at the heart of the show now. Can you build something better in a system that rewards exploitation, or do you inevitably become what you once fought against? That tension gives the series a much stronger philosophical backbone going forward. The ripple effects on supporting characters are just as significant. With MTechs fading into the background, relationships will be redefined. Loyalty becomes a choice rather than an obligation. Characters who once relied on titles and hierarchy now have to decide whether to align with Tommy's vision or oppose it. That creates cleaner, sharper conflict. Season 3 won't need to manufacture drama through misunderstandings. The stakes are baked into the structure. Every alliance carries risk, and every betrayal has consequences. Tommy's new company also changes how violence functions in the show. Earlier seasons often treated violence as fallout, something that happened when systems failed. Moving forward, violence is more likely to be strategic. When power is centralized, conflict becomes intentional. That doesn't mean constant bloodshed, but it does mean confrontations will feel more purposeful and more chilling. Decisions made in boardrooms will have immediate physical consequences on the ground, reinforcing Landman's brutal view of power. Beyond Season 3, this new direction gives the show longevity. Instead of being trapped in a loop of corporate dysfunction, Landman can now evolve with Tommy's ambitions. Expansion brings escalation. Success invites enemies. Failure creates vulnerability. The series can grow outward rather than inward, introducing new markets, new ethical dilemmas, and new forms of pressure without repeating itself. That flexibility is crucial for keeping the story fresh in future seasons. There's also a thematic maturity in this shift. Landman is no longer just asking how bad systems break people, it's asking how people rebuild after those systems collapse. Tommy's company represents possibility, but not hope in a sentimental sense. It's hope sharpened by experience, shaped by loss, and constantly threatened by the same forces that destroyed MTech's. That makes the story richer and more honest. Ultimately, Tommy's new oil company doesn't just change Landman's plot, it changes its identity. Season 3 marks the moment the show stops circling its premise and fully commits to it. Power, responsibility, and consequence are no longer abstract ideas floating above the story. They live inside every decision Tommy makes. And as long as the show is willing to follow those decisions to their darkest conclusions, Landman's future looks not just bigger, but far more compelling.